I was really angry. Something made me mad that day.
Mm-hmm.
I forget, something really pissed me off. I can't remember what it was. And I walked in the gym and I was just like, I'm doing Fran and I'm going to
Yeah,
sell out. And I remember just going as fast as I could.
that's funny, man.
The
So
pull-ups were legit though. None of the pull-ups they were all legit.
I'd have to
I'll say that.
imagine. I'd have to imagine that you can just sit on butterflies all day.
Yeah, that's one of my strong suits. I've always been pretty good at those. Pull-ups are pretty easy. I got short arms. I'll just widen my grip out and just flow.
Yeah. Next thing you know, you're flying. Now, from the time that you were coaching at those other two gyms, and were you already at Shake Rag by the time that you were at the Henry County School when you were doing strength and conditioning, or were you still at another gym?
No. So I actually okay, so I went from Heard County.
Mm-hmm.
Once I was there, I was living in Coweta County. So I moved down to Coweta because I taught a year in, sorry, this is all over the place. I taught a year in Troup County after I graduated.
Okay.
So I moved to Coweta because I didn't want to move all the way to Troup because I knew nobody. So I moved in with a buddy in Coweta. It's like a 30-minute drive for me to work. So I would drive there. Next year I ended up in Heard County, which luckily from Coweta County was about a 30-minute drive. So not bad. But while I was in Coweta, I worked out at CrossFit Coweta. And I worked out there for probably 3 years. And then that's when someone approached me. Was like, hey, I want to open a CrossFit gym. I've got a space. I need a coach. I need somebody to run this. I need somebody to be the head coach and all that. And my answer was, well, I have a very stable job and I'm not a risk taker. So if you can pay me my teacher salary, I'm in. And they're like, okay. So they did that. And we opened the gym like literally, I think a month after school got out that year. So we opened it then, and I've been here ever since. I ran it with the ex-owners for, I think 3-4 years. And then they ended up approaching me and saying, hey, we want to sell it and we want you to buy it if anybody's going to buy it. And so I was like, all right. So I bought it from them, and I guess I've owned it for probably 3 years now.
Okay. So the gym Shake Rag has been around for like 7, roughly?
Yeah, since 2017.
Okay.
Yeah,
so yeah,
6,
like
7.
right at like in the 6s somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, did you, like, going through that, did you know how to run a gym? Did you know leadership? Did you know sales? Did you know marketing? Like, or were you just the coach on the onset, or?
Yeah, so I was a coach. Like that's what I do. So everything else was like learning on the fly. Like I was a coach and didn't know anything else. And I'm still not like I won't say I am a phenomenal gym owner or gym. Like I'm good at, I know my role. So that's the best thing I can say is, like, for anybody opening a gym, is know your role and find someone that can do the stuff that you can't do or don't want to do. So I have a manager here, and if it wasn't for her, we would not be in business. So she's awesome. Her name's Hope Morgan. She's phenomenal. She basically keeps the place afloat. She does our finances, does our she does a lot of stuff with the clients. Like, they have questions, they usually go to her. They're like, hey, Hope. They drive her crazy sometimes, I think, but they're always going to her, asking her questions and stuff like that, and which is nice because they leave me alone. But yeah, that's the best advice I could ever give anyone is hire a manager that can do the things you are not great at, and but know what you're good at and know where your value is. And I think for me, being a coach was something that there was definitely I needed to be doing. And I think even more so than that, I think we found out when I actually took over our programming, we stopped paying for it, which, I don't know how other gyms do things, but I mean, a lot of gyms, pay for programming, and there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. But we found that when I was able to put that like personal touch on it, like we kind of started to explode. Like we really have took off since I started doing the programming. I think it just, for us, people like I'm able to program what our people need and what our people are wanting to do and what what's going to make them better. And I think they genuinely know, like, that I have their best interest in mind. And, I'm not pulling something from somebody in another state or some random dude that's just riding this. So it's coming from me. I watch them move every day. I mean, I just looked over our open workouts and I was able to look and say, hey, like, where's our gym week as a whole? And so now I can, over the next year, like I can program to fill those holes.
Fill some gaps there.